Welcome to Local, our best-selling Shopify theme. Available in 5 distinctive presets, Local is loved and used by merchants all around the world to create beautiful stores. In this video tutorial, I'll walk you through the essential settings and show you how to get started with the theme. We will begin with the global design settings, then configure product cards, dynamic product information, the store selector, the header, and finally the product page. Let's dive in. This is what Local looks immediately after installation. From here, we can begin adapting the design, content, and functionality to match our store. Let's begin with the theme settings. These options control the overall appearance and behavior of your store. In typography, we can select the font families used across the storefront, adjust the general type scale, fine-tune the line height and the letter spacing. There are also dedicated controls for elements such as buttons and navigation menus. The colors area gives us separate controls for the main parts of the theme. We can define one color palette for the header, another for the page body, another for the cards, and a separate palette for the footer. This makes it possible to create a strong visual hierarchy while maintaining consistency throughout the store. The card color settings provide the global defaults. Many individual sections and cards can override them, allowing us to create highlighted areas without changing the rest of the website. We can also define general settings for borders and shadows throughout the website. These global settings are useful for establishing the visual language of the store. Whenever a section supports a custom card design, we can override these defaults directly inside that section. Now let's move on to the product cards. These settings determine how products appear inside collections and other product grids throughout the theme. We can begin by choosing the product image aspect ratio, where we can keep the natural aspect or use a consistent shape such as a square or a portrait. We can also control the text alignment and title size, which is particularly useful when product names are longer. The quick buy controls define how customers can interact with a product directly from the grid. Product cards can also have a custom design that differ from the theme's general card settings. For example, we can adjust their border, corner radius, spacing, or shadow without changing the other cards used throughout the storefront. This combination of global settings and product-specific controls gives us enough flexibility to create a distinctive product grid while keeping the overall design coherent. Local includes automatic product badges for common product states. A sold-out badge appears when a product is unavailable, while the sale badge appears when a product has a compared price that is higher than its current price. In addition to automatic badges, Local supports custom badges based on Shopify product tags. For each custom badge, we define the text that customers will see and the product tag that activates it. If we open the product in the Shopify admin, we can see the tags that are assigned to it. As soon as the matching tag is added, the custom badge appears on that product throughout the storefront. Here we have a custom tag called Fresh that if we add as a badge tag in the admin, it will be displayed in all of the products. The appearance of the product card is controlled globally, but the information shown inside each product grid is organized using blocks. This means different product grids can display different content, even though they share the same overall product card design. We can add blocks such as the vendor, price rating, local availability, dynamic text, and icon list. Some blocks work immediately, while others need additional data or configuration, such as the dynamic text or icons. Let's look at these in more detail. I've added an icon list block, but nothing appears yet. This is because the icons and labels are product specific and must first be connected through metafields. Metafields allow us to store additional information for each product. To configure this, we go to Shopify settings and choose the metafields menu and then select the products. For every icon position, we need 2 product metafield definitions, one for the icon image and one for the label. First, we'll create the label definition, which needs to be a single line text. Then we'll create the corresponding image definition and choose file or image as the content type. I already have these definitions in my store, so I won't create duplicates. Instead, I'll use the existing namespace and key values. Each meta field has a unique reference made from its namespace and key. We copy that reference and paste it into the matching field in local's product card settings. Once the definitions have been created, they appear at the bottom of every product page in Shopify admin, and you can configure unique icons for each product individually. Local also offers a useful shortcut when the same icons are used across many products. Instead of uploading both an image and a label for every product, we can populate only the label meta field and upload the reusable icon once in Shopify files. For this to work, the PNG file name must match the label in a handle format. This means using lowercase letters, replacing space and with hyphens, and removing special characters. For example, a label called soya-free should be named soya-free.png, and so on. Another useful product card block is the dynamic text. It allows us to display one additional line of product-specific information such as a subtitle, a short feature, a flavor profile, or a promotional message. Just like the icons list, this block requires a product meta field. For this example, I have created already a meta field called product info. Its content type is single line text. We copy its namespace and key, return to the theme editor, and paste that reference into the dynamic text block. If the product grid has its own short line of information entered in the product info meta field, when we return to the product grid, the values appear automatically into the card. Next, let's configure one of Local's most distinctive features, the store selector. The store selector is opened from the header, but it is configured in a separate store selector area in the theme editor. The complete setup has three connected parts. First, the physical locations and the pickup settings in Shopify admin. Before configuring the theme, the store locations must already exist in Shopify. Here we can see the locations created for this store. Open each location and make sure its address is correct and that pickup is in store is enabled where applicable. Local displays availability data provided by Shopify, so inventory and pickup must be configured correctly in the Shopify admin start. We start our configuration with the first location, and most important setting is the store name. It must be an exact copy of the corresponding Shopify location name. This exact match is what connects the store entry in Local to the correct location and inventory data in Shopify. The remaining information is entered manually for presentational purposes: public address, contact details, opening hours, and an image. In other words, the theme does not automatically copy all of the public-facing content from Shopify locations. We have to create a matching store selector entry and complete the information we want customers to see. To display the store on the map, enter its latitude and longitude. These coordinates determine the exact position of the store marker. The interactive map also requires a Google Maps API key. This key is created in the Google Cloud Console, where the required map service must be enabled for the project. Once the key is ready, go to Theme Settings, open Maps, and paste it into the Google Maps API key field. For security, avoid sharing the complete key publicly and apply the appropriate website and API restrictions in Google Cloud. We can also adjust the map zoom and visual style. I have now completed the same setup for the remaining location. Each Shopify location has a corresponding store block in Local. Let's open the selector and choose a preferred store. The header now displays information about the selected store. When we change the preferred location, the store details update immediately. More importantly, every local availability block on the storefront also updates to reflect inventory at the selected location. The store selector is an informational layer connected to Shopify's location and pickup data. Please remember that the actual pickup or delivery choice is still completed through Shopify's own checkout process. Now that the store selector is working, let's look at the rest of the header settings. Here we can upload the store logo, select the main navigation menu, show or hide search, enable sticky header. Local also uses a transparent header on the homepage, which allows the first section, usually a slideshow or the hero image, to sit behind the navigation and create a more immersive design. There are also dedicated mobile navigation settings, which allow us to decide which elements appear in the mobile drawer and tailor the header experience to smaller screens. The header supports several blocks, including information block and mega menus. Let's configure a mega menu for the category's navigation item. In the handle field, enter the handle of the top-level menu item that should be transformed into a mega menu. This value is case-sensitive, so it should be entered in lowercase and must match the navigation item correctly. Once the handle is connected, the regular drop-down becomes a mega menu. We can change its layout and add a promotional image or link, creating space for a feature collection, campaign, or an important product. Let's finish the main setup by looking at the product page. The product template has two main areas, the media gallery and the product information, which is built using flexible blocks. The gallery determines how product media is presented. We can select the gallery layout, control the image aspect ratio, and decide whether media should be cropped or fitted inside its container. We can also apply the theme's card styling to the gallery, showing borders around the media and adjust the spacing between individual images. For navigation, we can choose the available pagination style, such as thumbnail or dots, depending on the selected gallery layout. Local also supports image zoom and product videos with autoplay and loop options. Finally, the sticky Add to Cart option keeps the purchase action accessible as customers move through a longer product page. The product information area is built entirely from blocks. We can add, remove, and reorder them to create the layout that best fits our products. The essential commerce blocks include the product title, price, variant picker, quantity selector, buy buttons, inventory information, and product description. We can also add ratings, product badges, SKU or barcode information, collapsible content, sharing controls, custom properties, promotional content, and several visual product information blocks. Local includes a large number of blocks, so we won't configure everyone in this tutorial. The important thing to understand is that the page structure is flexible, and many blocks can be also connected to product meta fields or dynamic content. For example, the complementary product blocks, which is configured using Shopify's free search and discovery app. The icon lists work in a similar way to the one used in product grids. We can add static icons directly in the block or connect the icon and label fields to the same product meta fields configured earlier. Static content remains the same for every product using this template. Dynamic content changes according to the meta field values assigned to each product. This is a useful distinction to remember. The template controls a shared layout, while the meta fields provide product-specific content. Beyond the standard commerce elements, Local includes several specialized blocks for presenting product information visually. We can add progress indicators, an attribute meter, Nutri-Score display, text banners, buttons, pop-ups, coupon codes, collapsible content, and custom line item properties. We won't go through every available option here. You can find dedicated tutorials for more complex features, and every product block is explained in the Local documentation. And that completes the essential setup of Local. We've configured the theme's global design, customized product cards and badges, added dynamic product content using meta fields, connected Shopify locations to the store selector, configured the header, and explored the product page and section system. Local includes many more settings and specialized blocks that we could cover in a single overview. For detailed instructions on individual features, take a look at the rest of our video tutorials and the Local documentation. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy building with Local.